It's absolutely okay to be fucked over. It's absolutely okay to be fucked up over these individuals. It's absolutely okay. You want and see, I'm making this video for the people who's getting out of heartbreak, the people who's struggling, letting go, and y'all kind of know that these motherfuckers aren't good for you, but you're battling yourself. I want to tell you this one thing: that shit is completely normal. After you done sat there and invested as much energy as you did, you poured time, you poured finances, you gave your body, you gave your spirit, you literally gave certain parts of yourself that you never gave no other man in your life. So obviously, now that you're in this phase of your life where you had to do more. You know what I'm saying? When you were 19, where you were 18, 16, whatever the case may be, you didn't have to worry about certain things. You didn't have to worry about finances. You didn't have to worry about, popping up with babies and all that type of stuff. So unless you were moving kind of fast, But for the mass majority of you guys, these are new experiences for you. You don't know what it's like to have to co-parent. You don't know what it's like to have to do these. So these are all new experiences for you. So the fact that you're feeling the ways that you're feeling is valid. It's normal. It's kind of crazy because on these one-on-one calls, when I be talking to y'all, it seems like y'all be beating yourselves up for being human. What human do you know gets out of a 10-year relationship where they literally gave their all, literally poured every ounce that they could into a motherfucker, and then have them get disrespected, like getting cheated on, left out in the cold, discarded, or something like that, and they don't feel some type of way? Most people is going to feel some type of way after doing the shit that, or having the shit that's being done to them getting done. You clicking? So it's like by you sitting here trying to analyze or stop your emotions, if anything, you're just prolonging the shit. You gotta let it out. You gotta go through the motions. You can, bro. I've even said it. You just gotta make the decision. Once you make the decision, I'm not going back. It's a lot easier to not go back because your mind is made up. When your mind is made up, that looks like, you know what? I rather cry myself to sleep every single night for the next 3 months than respond to this text message because you made your mind up. So even if moving on feels harder in the moment, your mind was made up. So you're gonna move forward and you're gonna go through the mud. You're gonna thick it out. In the process of you thickening it out, that's what's gonna help you heal. That's what's gonna help you get to certain levels in your life. You see, you can't keep dwelling on certain shit trying to figure out why a motherfucker acted the way that they acted, if they're narcissistic, if they're psychopathic, and all this other type of shit. Once you see the signs, once you can see the actions, because the actions say a lot, you need to somewhat go blind to the words. Actions tell you everything. When the motherfucker doesn't respect you, you have every right, and it's in your integrity to do what you need to do to move forward and go down a different path. You don't need to be sitting there bullshitting, and you don't need to be sitting there giving your life to a motherfucker who didn't necessarily respect you or value you in the first place. Like I be having to tell some of the queens on my calls, if you actually do go to the end of your life and you don't get no new partner, you don't experience no new healthy love, that narcissist still wins. They can still go home. Well, they can go at the end of their life and be like, this person never got in a new relationship because of me. I held that much influence and that much power in their life that they couldn't move after me. I was the end all be all. They still won. Part of your healing journey is moving forward. Part of your healing journey is moving on. It's accepting what happened and then learning from it. What got you in the fucking situation? Man, I be getting on calls with you guys and y'all be just like pouring. Y'all be like, man, he did this, he did this, he did this, that happened, this happened, and he did this, and when I did this, he did that. And it's like, wait a minute, let's go to the root. I think we're asking the wrong questions right now. Instead of asking, you know, why is he doing this? Let's start asking a little bit better question. Why are you allowing it to happen? What made you think that this was attractive? Why do you keep allowing it to happen? You get what I'm saying? Start asking better questions. He was pushing your boundaries and stuff like that. And you'd be like, man, why does he keep pushing my boundaries? Better question is, why haven't you held up your boundaries? Where did you learn that you can put up with shit that's not okay? Where did you learn the dynamic that you're exhibiting? I had to tell a girl on a call actually yesterday. She's talking about her dynamics with the situationship. She ended up in a situationship, boundaries was being pushed and all this other type of stuff. And when I asked her, what was the family dynamic like between the her mama and her daddy, she was like, my dad was very argumentative. He was very like loud and stuff like that. So that's why I kind of like fell for the nice version because this new dude was being nice, right? And I was like, see, that's what it is. This new dude isn't necessarily the wound. He's just the trigger. The wound right now is those childhood wounds because you looked for the opposite of your father while exhibiting the same traits of your mother. Your mother was putting up with shit. Your mother had her boundaries being pushed over. And since you saw boundaries clearly not being respected in the household, you're doing that in the dating world. But you were able to acknowledge, okay, maybe one part of this or one party in this situation has some faults. So you looked at the other side, right? You look for the opposite of something, but you didn't address the other parent. Mommy and daddy issues. You get what I'm saying? Those be the real triggers. Those be the real wounds. And when you get to the root, when you actually like dig down, what got me here? Meaning, what did I learn? What did I see? Who did I see? Or how could this have, or what happened to me that made me think that the ways that I'm acting right now is normal? Because then you start realizing I'm not really triggered over this nigga. This nigga's not really getting under my skin like how I think he is. The problem is he's the trigger in my life. God sent this man into my life as a trigger to show me something different, for me to be like, okay, these are the parts of me that still needs to be healed, and these are the parts of me that still needs to be addressed. That's why God sends certain people into your life. But if you look at it from the perspective of, oh my God, this person ruined my life, you'll somewhat neglect or, you know, I'm not going to say neglect, but overlook the lesson. Because God doesn't do anything in your life that will keep you stuck. Life is forever changing. At this exact moment, everything's changing. There's cars coming past. The leaves aren't the same in the same places before. People are moving. There's planes. There's clouds. Every single second, there's change. Every single second, something is evolving. Something new is happening. There's something else entering the atmosphere at every given second. So why not give yourself the same grace and the same opportunity to live that out? All because this happened in my past does not mean circumstances just can't change. And there was a point in time where you probably didn't even know this motherfucker. Circumstances change. Why can't they change again? Why does life stop at this person? They don't. And you have the integrity and you have the ability to move forward once you realize that shit. I understand you have to let it out. It's okay to feel fucked up. Like when my papa told me, you feel me? He 86 years old, Pan-Africanist, put out the first rap album, poet, everything else like that. He was working in mental health and counseling for majority of his life, but he was working with, people who were incarcerated and all this other type of stuff, right? And he said something that really stood out to me that I always keep and I tell you guys as well. Emotions is like liquor. If you were to sit somewhere and drink so much fucking liquor, eventually your stomach's gonna hurt. Eventually you're gonna feel it. And more chances than not, you need to go throw up or just simply get it out of your system. And then you start feeling better. It's the same thing with your emotions. If you're just packing in all these negative emotions and at no point in your life you say, let me get it out. Where's the journal? Where's the therapist? Where's my friends? Where's my family? Where's my support system? Which is another thing I'm about to touch on. It's going to be hard for you to let those things out because you're going to start dwelling in the shit. This is something else that I talk about with a lot of people. Stop cutting off your family. Stop removing your friends and shit like that because those are going to be the same people who help you get out of the bullshit. Those are going to be those is your support system. Narcissistic and very manipulative individuals, you'll find yourself isolating from the people who are actually meant to help you, prosper and heal, because if you're by yourself, you're so much more receptive and it's easier to influence your ass because you've cut off everybody who was around you who was giving you that polarity, giving you that duality. When you're healing, don't go into a complete sense of isolation. When you go into isolation, that's so you can rebuild. And in the rebuilding process, that includes refilling your life with new and healthier energy so you can do different things in your life. Do not just sit in the hurt. Do not just sit in the pain because nothing's going to come from that. You have to move past it. You feel me? You have to get through it. Oh my God, I'm being goofy. But, but yeah, you have to just let it out. And it's okay to feel fucked up. Literally. Feel it. It's fine. But life goes on. And after a while, you're not going to be as emotionally reactive. At a certain point, you're not going to care as much. That's if you get the courage and the inner strength to not keep going back. Every time you go back, it's going to be harder for you to and for you to let go until you finally get to that point. And crazy enough, I might end it off on this. I've seen this happen a lot too. Sometimes you have to continuously go back and continuously get your head hit. Sometimes you have to really get pushed to the edge because for some people, you really don't truthfully know what is enough if you've never had somebody do too much. In the process of them doing too much, eventually you're just gonna get tired of it. Okay, I'm done. I literally can't do it no more. I'm pissed, I'm irritated, I'm disgusted, I don't respect it. I'm just done. I'm tired. Some of you guys got to get to that point before you're finally like, okay, let me let loose. But the ones who's not at the point where you can acknowledge maybe it's not healthy for me to allow this person to get me to my absolute lowest before I let go. Allow yourself to go through the motions. It's okay, love. It's normal. Everybody feels these emotions with things that they give a fuck about. You have to move past it at a certain point. And the moment that you do, and you just give yourself permission to even experience, you don't even got to go around dating everybody. Just experience some things, experience some people, make some friends and shit like that. You'll start realizing that God actually delivers blessings very fast. You can get different things in your life at a snap of the finger if you're receptive and you're energetically open to it. Right now, you're working on getting energetically open to the shit that you're asking for. So yeah, man, tap in. I love y'all. If y'all need to go book a one-on-one call, go down in the bio or my Instagram, however y'all go about it, get in touch with me. I got books and everything else like that. That being said, I love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. And I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace.